In the early 2000s, real estate developers saw a great opportunity in creating artificial land off the coast of Dubai. The real estate boom in the Emirates seemed unstoppable, and the demand for oceanfront properties was enormous. Dubai had already expanded along most of its coastline, so Nakheel Properties, a real estate company owned by the government of Dubai, made plans to radically transform the region in just 2 decades, between 2001 and 2006. Several plans were announced, including 3 different island projects that, when viewed from space, were intended to represent the shape of palms: Palm Jumeirah, Palm Jebel Ali, and lastly, Palm Deira, the largest of the 3. Additionally, the World, an artificial archipelago located off the coast of Dubai, was announced. This engineering project was one of the most ambitious in the Emirate. The World's islands, featuring different areas from single-family homes to complexes for multiple households and commercially usable islands. In a second phase, it was planned for the World to be complemented by an even larger project called Universe. This project envisaged artificial islands that resembled the shape of the Sun, the Moon, and the planets of the solar system, the Milky Way, and even a galaxy. Alongside Palm Jebel Ali, another gigantic project was set to be created: the Dubai waterfront. These islands were supposed to have the shape of a star and a crescent moon, significant symbols in Islam. The construction project was announced as the largest development project undertaken by humans worldwide. With all these projects, most of Dubai's coastline would have been transformed. Considering that Abu Dhabi Emirate lies to one side and Sharjah Emirate lies on the other. In retrospect, the level of confidence with which these projects were advanced was incredible. However, the islands were seen as prestigious projects that fulfilled the gigantic goal of making Dubai a significant tourist destination and therefore creating new sources of income for a place that had obtained most of its wealth through oil extraction. Now let's take a look at what happened to these ambitious plans. In 2001, Nakheel Properties began constructing Palm Jumeirah. This project alone would double the length of Dubai's coastline. By 2006, land reclamation was completed and the first apartments were handed over. Today, Palm Jumeirah is an artificial ensemble of islands off the continental coast of Dubai. From a seaplane, this aerial view shows the palm-shaped structure surrounded by a crescent-shaped breakwater that protects the islands from strong waves and storms. Construction on the project began 20 years ago in June 2001. Zero concrete was used to form the islands. Instead, developer Nakheel used sand and rock. Today, Palm Jumeirah is home to luxurious hotels, pristine beaches, and almost 80,000 people. The fronds of the palm are filled with private houses, but there are also luxury hotels on the breakwater ring that protects the palm from storms. While Palm Jebel Ali was still under construction, impressive projects like the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building, were being built. In September 2008, the Atlantis Hotel on Palm Jumeirah celebrated its opening with a spectacular fireworks show. However, the celebrations couldn't change the fact that the international financial crisis was affecting Dubai. A journalist stated, "Last week Dubai spent $20 million on a party to open the Atlantis Hotel." The headline was "Partying in Dubai, while the rest of the world reels from the economic crisis." Although this will no longer be the case, another journalist commented, "Dubai has been hit by the global financial crisis, especially in the real estate sector. Megaprojects like the artificial islands off the coast are in danger of collapsing. Many construction sites are closed due to decreased demand. The price of land plummeted rapidly, and the development of Palm Jebel Ali came to a halt in 2011. Nakheel Properties offered refunds to investors, and the project has been on hold since then. The empty sandbanks stretching 7 kilometers into the sea seem suddenly forgotten. Palm Jebel Ali is located behind the port of Jebel Ali, with no urban development nearby. Most of the visions dreamed up by the planners of the project apparently evaporated into a cloud of sand. Work on the Palm Islands began with divers examining the seabed. Workers used blasted mountain rock to build a crescent-shaped breakwater. At its deepest point, Palm Jebel Ali's crescent is just over 4 meters above sea level at low tide and sits in 10 meters of water. The lowest layer of the breakwater is sand covered by a water-permeable, erosion-resistant geotextile. The sand is covered by 1-ton rocks, and the structure is crowned by 2 layers of large rocks weighing up to 6 tons each, placed by a floating crane. 1 foot inside the crescent, the breakwater also has two 220-meter openings on each side to prevent the 16 narrow and deep channels from becoming stagnant. Every 13 days, these spaces allow water to circulate fully. To build them, sand was dredged from the seafloor, and it was transported from the Persian Gulf to the location where the islands were constructed. Once there, the sand was compacted through vibration to increase its density and stability. This was achieved by saturating the sand with water jets and vibrating it with probes. Desert sand couldn't be used for this project because it tends to liquefy when water is added, meaning it loses its solidity and behaves more like a liquid than a solid. Therefore, it is unsuitable for building an artificial island. Designers and contractors use Differential Global Positioning System, GPS, for accurate positioning of the palms and to ensure the challenging palm shape was achieved correctly. During the process, construction workers on the island lived in the fronds and anchored cruisers. According to some sources, the islands are sinking into the sea, but the construction company denies this. Critics have argued that the construction of Palm Jumeirah has harmed the marine environment for kilometers. They didn't like the project because the rocks and sand buried oyster beds and coral reefs, and the currents shifted, eroding the continental coast. Despite these concerns, Palm Jumeirah is filled with villas, hotels, and attractions. Hotels are on the palm trunk while houses are on the fronds. Temporary residents, holiday tourists, and real estate speculators make up the majority of buyers. Palm Jumeirah is home to around 80,000 people with a capacity of 120,000. A 6-lane underwater tunnel connects Palm Jumeirah to the mainland to facilitate tourism and make life easier for residents. The only public transportation option on the island is a monorail running along the Palm. It was inaugurated in 2009. In Palm Jumeirah, new resorts are still opening, and developers are financing and building luxury apartments. In 2021, an observation deck was opened on the 52nd floor of the Palm Tower, offering visitors a panoramic view of the entire island and beyond from a height of 240 meters. Visitors can enjoy 360-degree panoramic views of Palm Jumeirah, the Arabian Gulf, and the Dubai skyline from an outdoor terrace and a premium lounge. Now, let's return to the world islands. Initially, significant progress was made in construction, and many of these islands were already sold before the financial crisis. However, due to the financial problems that arose with the crisis, many investors who had bought these islands found themselves in a bind, and development couldn't continue. Although there was an increase in investment in new projects in Dubai after the crisis, the World Project failed to capitalize on this trend as confidence in the return of similar investors dwindled. 10 years passed since the initial project was presented, and by that time, the World Islands no longer seemed to fit well with the current situation. There were considerable concerns about the project's viability when it was reported that the smaller channels between the islands began to fill with sand, complicating navigation. Additionally, the rising sea level posed a threat to the project. Overall, there were growing concerns about land reclamation projects on the island called Palm Dira. Residents criticized the water quality, and although the breakwaters were installed to protect the island from erosion, they also altered the natural flow of tides, and water within the island became stagnant. Furthermore, environmental concerns started gaining more attention. Accumulating massive amounts of sand in areas that were once uniform had a negative impact on marine ecology. These islands mainly consist of sand from the shallow coastal waters of Dubai, raising concerns about the stability of the coastal soil and the risk of erosion. Although these consequences have been known for some time, it became increasingly challenging to promote projects considered harmful to the environment. For this reason, many recent projects have tried to integrate environmental considerations into their development. Additionally, the difficult living conditions of immigrant workers in the construction industry in Dubai became a significant media topic. However, there have been some developments in the development of these islands. Initially, only one island was fully developed and used as a model to promote the project. In the summer of 2012, the Royal Island Beach Club was inaugurated on one of the islands, attracting tourists who could arrive by boat. However, the most significant project was announced in 2014 when an Austrian real estate investor revealed plans to develop multiple projects on European-themed islands. The project, the Heart of Europe, is a kind of mini-Europe investment in Dubai. It consists of a chain of exclusive islands inspired by European countries, with luxury hotels inspired by places like Venice or Monaco. There will also be a series of restaurants serving European cuisine and a square on Switzerland Island where artificial snow will fall. The project is currently under construction and time will tell if it will bring the desired economic success. Risky development projects exist in almost every part of the world, and some of them fail in urban development. Prestigious projects are those that aim to enhance the image and attractiveness of a city or region. These projects may include the construction of iconic buildings, parks, museums, shopping centers, etc. Often, the main goal of these projects is not to gain a direct financial benefit, but to improve the city's image and attract tourism, investment, and overall economic development. In addition to attracting tourism, these prestigious projects often serve as national pride, or are intended to symbolize the beginning of a new era, for example, by using new construction methods or breaking world records. If Dubai is criticized for creating megaprojects, then the same criticism certainly must apply elsewhere. However, the question remains of how these projects that change Dubai's coastal landscape will be viewed in retrospect. At a time when Dubai's growth is slowing down, and the planet itself has shown that the force of nature is more powerful than human force no matter how much money is invested. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I would really appreciate it. Thanks.